British Virgin Islander Dane Hunter announced his return from Israeli prison last week after being part of the Global Samud Flotilla, a humanitarian mission bound for Gaza. Speaking with 284 Media, Hunter described in vivid detail the hours-long interception by Israeli naval forces that led to the flotilla's capture in international waters and the subsequent detention of his crew. Hunter reflected on the dramatic nighttime encounter that he says began approximately 120 nautical miles from Gaza's coast, well outside Israeli territorial waters. According to Hunter, the Israeli Navy first made contact via VHF radio, Channel 16, warning the flotilla that it would be intercepted for, quote, interfering in a military operation and attempting to breach the blockade on Gaza. The flotilla responded by citing Article 19 of the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which protects the right of humanitarian missions to travel unobstructed, particularly when delivering aid to civilians. Despite this, Israeli forces moved to intercept the flotilla's 45 vessels in a large-scale operation involving military ships, high-pressure water cannon boats, electronic disruption equipment, and even a submarine.
They had a more specialized boarding craft, just with taller walls and a lot of technical gear on top of it, and anytime that boat was coming by, you would immediately lose all of your comms, you would lose the Starlink, and even instruments on board the boat would start going haywire. So for a lot of the interception, which lasted hours because there were so many of us, we had about 45 boats, I believe. We had to rely just on like handheld magnetic compasses because we could no longer trust what our instruments were telling us. Interception started evening, probably about 6 p.m. UTC, and they didn't get our last boat until the next morning, approximately, I think it was like 10 a.m. UTC, and that boat was able to reach about 23 nautical miles off the shores of Gaza.
Crew members were eventually restrained and taken to an Israeli port. Hunter described a disorganized processing operation with captured crews held on hot concrete for hours before formal processing began. Israel's National Security Minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, addressed the group.
He basically gave a lecture calling all of us terrorists, saying that we're there to kill Jewish babies. A lot of projection. We all started chanting Free Palestine, which they did not like. So they came around, cuffed everybody, made the cuffs as tight as possible. And it was kind of one of the first times that while being incarcerated, we were seeing collective punishment. So going through processing, they tossed a lot of our stuff just indiscriminately. They would go through our bags, just kind of throwing away whatever they decided on.
Hunter said they were not given due process, as they were supposed to be given the option of signing an agreement stating that they entered Israel illegally, agree to self-deport, then get their own plane ticket and be on their way. Instead, they were subject to imprisonment and humiliation. As for the ceasefire now in place, Hunter expressed very little hope in its success, noting that from his experience and from what Israel has shown, they have no intent of seeing Palestinians live on their own land.